Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. Today I have a recycled craft for you that you can use for Mother's Day. It's a pool noodle flower. Is that the cutest? And you can make it in many different ways. And I'm going to show you how right now. For this project, I'm going to be using pool noodles. Now, I was able to get mine at my local dollar store, and as you can see, they do have a hole in the center, which is great, and that's really what I want. I want pool noodles that have a hole in the center. Now, mine come in two different shapes. There's a round one, and then there's also this flower shape. Depending on what you're able to get, everything works. So don't be concerned if you can only find this shape, and don't be concerned if you can only find this shape. And if you can only get it in one color, that's fine too. I was lucky enough to get it in 3. I'm going to be using my crafting surface here so that I can cut. And I'm going to be using an expandable X-Acto knife, or what is called a box cutter. So I'm going to be using one of those. Got my ruler, a wooden skewer. This is important. The wooden skewer. Now you can also use a pencil if you want to, or even a popsicle stick. Pipe cleaners, washi tape, puffballs, glue dots, and scissors. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is cut my pool noodles. And I get to decide which one I want to use for my flower and which one I want to use for my flower pot. I'm actually going to use the orange one for my flower pot. I'm going to measure roughly 3 inches. Mark it with my finger. Now, just be careful when you do this. I'm scooching my X-Acto knife all the way out and making a nice straight cut all the way down. I want to try to get that as even as possible. Now, I'm going to be using my blue one here that actually looks like a flower. It's got that flower shape. And I'm going to cut 1 inch, so just an inch. And again, in the same manner, as straight down as I can possibly go. There's my flower. And the last is my leaves. Now, if you can't get green leaves, and this I'm going to do 1 inch, if you can't get these green pool noodles for your leaves, don't fret. You can always use your pipe cleaner. There we go. So in this case, see, I used a pipe cleaner to make my leaves, and I used a round noodle because I couldn't find one of these. So there you have it. Everything is workable. First thing first, I'm going to take my little orange one here and turn it into my flower pot. So all I'm going to do is take some of this beautiful washi tape, which I've become very, very fond of, and I'm going to wrap it around. I am known for doing a lot of work with duct tape, but I have to tell you honestly, I really love the ease of this washi tape. It's so nice that, especially when I'm working with kids, which is what I do in my job, it's so much easier than the duct tape. I love duct tape still, don't get me wrong, but I just love the ease of the washi tape, and it's just so pretty. So I'm just using a couple strips of washi tape right around here, and that's going to make my beautiful vase. Set that aside here, and I'm going to take my leaves. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cut this in half. 1, 2, and this is going to be my leaves. My leaves can either go up or they can go down. It's up to me. But see this extra piece here? I'm going to fold this in half and give it a squeeze, and then I'm going to smush it down in to this hole right here. Now, if you find that it's too hard to smush it down folded like that, you can cut it one more time into a quarters and smush it down. This is just going to be holding your plant in shape, in its space there. So just putting that in there so it looks almost like it's a little dirt. Okay, now let's make our flower. So first thing we're going to do is take the pointy end, and we're going to stick it through all the way, and we're going to rub it back and forth just a little bit to make a nice big hole like that, so you can see that. There's my hole. I'm going to put that off to the side. Now what I'm going to do is come from the opposite side with a pipe cleaner. Just hold the pipe cleaner right at the end here and start wrapping it around. And you want to wrap this nice and tight. Now when you get about halfway, which is about halfway on my pipe cleaner, take your pipe cleaner, hold it against the stick, and then take those leaves. Now decide if you want your leaves to go down or up. In this case, I'm going to go up and squish it on. Now see, as you squished it on, your pipe cleaner came out, which is what you want, because now you can wrap on the other side. And you keep going around and around and around until you're done. Now you can add another pipe cleaner here if you want to make this really long, but I'm going to actually cut this off once I get it all set into place. The other fun thing that's kind of fun about this is you can scooch these up and down to be as short or tall as you want. Now remember that hole? Okay, find that hole that you made before and squish this up into it. Now remember what I said about you can squish this up and down. So there you go. You want this just so that your stick just comes to the top here and doesn't poke out, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to take my sharp end of my stick and I'm going to push it through the top of that pool noodle that I put in there. That fills that hole up just like that. Now see the extra here? What I want to do is push this down so that it comes out the bottom, cut off that extra with my scissors, and then push it back up. And adjust so that it's all set and good there. Now the last thing to do is to add a pretty little puffball. Now I want to make sure that this stays in place, and truth be told, this is the one place you don't want to be using a glue gun because the glue will melt the foam. So I'm going to take my little glue dot and put it right here in the bottom, and I'm also going to put one right on the stick. And then I'm just going to take my puffball and stick it in. Now if you have a nice fat puffball, it'll stay by itself. I'm going to do two so it looks nice from front and back. But I will say this, it's nice to have a little bit of something to grab in there and keep it in place. So that glue dot is really good, just to keep it in place there. There you go. And that gives you your beautiful little flower. And just wanted to show you, see the differences here. This is using the flower part, the flower-shaped one, as the base, and that works beautifully, as does just using the round one as a flower topper. And there you can see I've used just 2 pipe cleaners for this one. And what I did is instead, when I got to the bottom here, instead of adding this piece and then wrapping it down to the bottom, I actually made a nice little leaf out of it. And then I just added a second one to make the bottom part. So if you don't have that second pool noodle or that third pool noodle with the green one there, then you can always use a pipe cleaner. And see? And then this is the one, just to show you what it's like if you put it down. There you have it. Easy peasy, lemon breezy. You got yourself a cute Mother's Day gift that I am sure is going to float her boat. Now remember, you can mix and match whatever kind pool noodle you have. For more great ideas made from recycled things, come and check us out at Sophie-World.com. And don't forget, hug your mother.